FM Addict here. Welcome back to another episode of Fulham, getting them back to where they belong. So, since we were last together in the game against Millwall, it's been pretty okay. It's improved in the games that we've won, we've played very well, and when we've lost, we played really badly. So, after the 4-0 win, we played Man United in the Capital One Cup quarter final. We lost because of a Di Maria goal. I was pretty proud of the performance, because at the moment Manchester United are top of the Premier League. For those of you that are interested, Man United, Arsenal, Man City, QPR up here as well somehow. So yeah, I was pretty proud of that performance. After that, we had the game against Middlesbrough. Pablo Aimar scored pretty early on, and then from then on it was pretty much about playing on the counter attack and trying not to concede. And then exactly a week later, we had Nottingham Forest, a game which we won 3-2. So we were 2-0 down, but both of Nottingham Forest goals were penalties. And then we got one penalty, we scored it. Aymar scored in the 79th minute. And then Dan Burn made up for his mistake. And then we had Rotherham. I was feeling very confident about this game because they were in the relegation zone, like bottom club. So then I was pretty confident. So then I played a weaker lineup and I lost 3-0. So that was the end of that. And then we had the game in the FA Cup. I rested a few players. I'm not taking this too seriously, as it's a one season save, as you all know. And then a few days later we had Bolton. We won 2-1. So we came back from 1-0 down. Ross McCormack equalised, and then we won due to David Wheater own goal. And then there was the London derby against Brentford away, a game which we won 5-1. We went up in the 6th minute, but then they equalised. We went 2-1 up due to an own goal. And then we scored 8 minutes later, we scored 4 minutes later, and then Staphylidis, the Leverkusen loanee, scored again. So that was a pretty good win. So now we're on to the game against Blackpool. So if you look in the table, Blackpool are in relegation zone on 23 points. So it should be quite a comfortable win. In terms of the table, we've improved a lot. We are now in 3rd place after 25 games on 44 points, 9 points behind the leaders. And if we win today, we could potentially go in 2nd if Norwich draw or they lose. They've got Middlesbrough, so it's a game that they will probably win. So in terms of signings, I was telling you guys the other day about how I was disappointed with my team and how I was going to bring in some new players. So since the transfer window, because our form got better, I didn't bring in anyone. But I brought in the Portuguese centre-back Ricardo Costa. I'm not sure why he had no club. He got released from an Arab team after he'd been playing for Valencia. I know about him. He's got 13 caps for the Portuguese national team. He can play centre back, right back, and left back. His stats are pretty good, and it says he's a good player for most Premier League sides, which makes him good enough to be a centre back for most mid-table teams. So yeah, I snapped him up straight away. And then I took Christian Poulsen, 33-year-old defensive midfielder, Danish guy, 92 caps, so pretty much a legend. He got released from his Ajax contract at the end of the season. He played for Liverpool, so most of you guys might know about him. And his abilities, decent play for most Premier League sides, so he definitely fit in the Premier League. And I'm gonna play him as a ball-winning midfielder because that's his best position. So if we highlight him here as defend, his stats are pretty good for that and is the best suited player to play in that sort of role. And I gave him a 2-year contract because it wouldn't affect accept a 1-year contract, which is pretty understandable. So going into the game, we don't really have any injury news to inform you about. Morale's pretty good. And I took Matt Smith away on loan to Bournemouth. He was never going to get any game time. Hopefully he can get better there. So, in terms of the lineup, Paulson as ball-winning midfield, as I've already said. Park and Pratley there like always. Centre-back Ricardo Costa makes his debut with Dan Burn, and Morbia's form has dropped. Hoogland and Staphylidis like always. And then Aymar, he's been playing very well if you look at his stats. He's got 7.5 overall, 19 appearances, 5 goals, 10 assists and 2 man of the matches, which is pretty excellent. And then up front I've got Hugo Rodallega and Ross McCormack. Rodallega's had a good season as well, 23 appearances and 14 goals. So he's definitely been the main man when it came to scoring goals. So we are now going into the match, give these two players their numbers. So we are now ready to go into the game. Yeah, we should be beating them quite comfortably. And if you look at in terms of scoring goals, we've got 45 goals. The highest scorers in the league are Blackburn on 46. So that just shows you how well our attack and how well my 4-3-1-2 formation is doing. But in terms of defending, we're not doing very well. So opposition instructions, you all know me, keep it simple like always. So I've also had suggestions from one of my mates telling me to do a Portsmouth save and try it on FM 2015 and try and get them to the Premier League. So leave it in your comments below. Let me know what you think about that. And towards the end of this save, I'll do a vote to see which team I'm going to do with, because I still don't know. What I might also do is I might do a save with PSG, try win the Champions League with them, because they've got quite a lot of money, so it shouldn't be, I would say 3 seasons at least. So at the moment, PSG is looking the most likely. So it's out of PSG, Portsmouth, Ajax, Man United, and a few other Premier League teams. So 7 minutes in, I've already had 2 injuries actually. Ricardo Costa should carry on. Aymar's going to have to come off. I'm going to put on Brian Ruiz for him. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. Hopefully it's not a bad one, because he's been a key player this season. So 10 minutes in, not much has happened so far. $20 in, we've got the ball on the right, and it's a goal, but it's been disallowed for offside. So anyway, that's promising signs. Our best player so far is Scott Parker on a 6.9. He always has a good game, whether we get beaten or not. His stats are always good. McCormack and Rodallega playing very well together with some good link-up play, but still no goals. McCormack, Rodallega. So I'm recording this in the afternoon right now, but it's probably going to be uploaded around about night time, because that's the time when there's more people around on YouTube. And I'll probably do 2 or maybe even 3 more videos, because that's just who I am. I have no life. And it's the Christmas holidays, so I'll make the most of the time I have right now. So Rodallega puts us 1-0 up, 15th goal of the season, 10 minutes before half time. So looking at the highlights, Pratley set him up nicely, Rodallega slotted it in, and the goalkeeper had no chance. So Darren Pratley, the Bolton loanee, has been playing pretty well as well. If it was a longer save, I would have probably tried to buy him, but it doesn't really matter. So almost went 2-0 up there. Parker, Burns, Staphylidis, Parker, Rodallega, Ruiz. Rodriguez slots it into Ruiz and he makes no mistake. 2-0, and we should go into halftime in the lead. So yeah guys, this formation's going really well. I might upload this formation onto Steam for all you guys who want it. Whenever I tell people about the 4-3-1-2 formation, they're always like, I mean, you have to make sacrifices for it to work. Since this formation started, I haven't played Marc Gonzalez, the CSK Moscow loanee, even once. So I might just cancel his loan and send him back, depending on whether we get any injuries or not. So my team talk wasn't very good. I'll try and get them. I was impressed. The midfield, I was impressed. So we're now going to start the second half. Some of my players are on a red, which is really bad because I've got a feeling that they're going to go out and concede in the first 5 minutes, which will be really bad. So in about 10-15 minutes, I might change the tactics to counter to try and preserve the lead a bit more. So I might take off Ricardo Costa. He's on a 6.7, but he's injured, it says. So we'll just put Amora Bieta on. I rested him for a few games because I wasn't very happy with how he was playing. So yeah, I'm gonna make a tactical change now. I am gonna go from control to counter, fluid to rigid, and then on team instructions, I will go lower tempo, exploit the flanks, play wider, drop deeper, pump ball into box. So I will now introduce my wingers now. I think it's time that I change the formation around a little bit. So I'll get Ross McCormack in the wing, and I'll put Scott Parker there. That's not his position, so I'll just end up taking him off. Put Rodriguez more central. Put him as a poacher. Attack, inside forward, and inside forward. So if I go back here, I'll make a change and I'll be putting Trukowski on. Trukowski's been very inconsistent this season. I haven't been very happy with the way he's been playing, but hopefully he can prove himself to me today. Yeah, I think there's a lot more to come from him. Seem deep in thought. Anyway, we've made the tactical change. Hopefully we don't concede in the next 10 minutes because that would be pretty bad. So it doesn't look like we'll be going into second place because Norwich are currently winning 4-1 if you noticed. So it looks like we're just playing the clock down now. Burn on the ball to Trukowski, Staphylidis. Ruiz, Trukowski crosses it in. Rodriguez almost scored it, but the goalkeeper got in the way of it. So we're now going into the last 10 minutes of the game. It's been a pretty good performance from the midfield, especially the likes of Scott Park and Darren Pratley on 7.9. Rodriguez's finishing has been excellent like always. The game should be finished in a few more seconds. Can we get to third goal? Oh no, we can't. It was offside and it's all over. Another win. That was pretty good stuff. So if we have a look at the table, if we go and have a look at the table, we are in third place, still 9 points behind the leaders, still 1 point behind Norwich. But the most important thing is we're 4 points from leaving the promotion places. So even if we do lose our next game, there will still be no need to worry. So that's pretty pleasing stuff. So we now leave the match. We've got Reading coming up next in the Sky Bet Championship. I won't be showing that one. I'll just go into the fixtures, have a look, see when I'll be back. I'll probably be back sometime around mid-February, sometime like that. And yeah, please leave your likes and your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, keep on watching. I'm really enjoying making these videos. So the game's taking its time with the Mertesacker pace, but still faster than Mertesacker. In terms of schedule, I will be back for the 15th of February, yeah. I'll be back for the game against Ipswich, because they're promotion candidates as well, and it should be quite a good game. So I'll see you on the 15th of February, and until then, stay calm, stay addicted. Thanks for watching, goodbye.